Welcome to Life, Death, and the Law, presented by the law firm of Deason, Garner, and Hansen, hosted by attorneys Shawn Garner and Adam Hansen.
So let's go to the most trusted news source that we have on the issue, and that is The View.
Well, so let's rewind. 2 weeks ago, Caitlin played Angel Reese, now in the WNBA.
Yeah, so this is a highly anticipated game.
I mean, we're talking right off the heels of the NCAA tournament. These girls get drafted in the WNBA within weeks of that ending of the tournament, and now they're playing in the professional leagues. And so Angel Reese squared off against Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese is on the she plays for Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago Sky.
And Caitlin now is with Indiana.
Right. And for those who don't know, they had quite the rivalry in college.
Absolutely.
So they're facing off for the first time at the next level.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, Indiana has a WNBA basketball team called the Fever. We didn't know that until like 2 months ago when Caitlin was drafted to them.
The reason
now we know.
And they get the first pick because they're a terrible team, and that's how it works. In NBA and most sports is, the worse record you have, the higher draft pick you get, because they want to try to even out the teams. So they get Caitlin Clark as a number 1 draft pick, and Chicago Sky gets Angel Reese as a number 7 draft pick.
And in that game, Caitlin Clark was body checked by one of the players on Chicago's team, and it was
Kennedy Carter.
It wasn't even in play, So we're going to play this clip. This is how The View sees it. Well, at least Sonny hosting on The View.
And Whoopi. We got Whoopi in there.
Is bringing this money, these sponsorships, we hope, into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive. And unfortunately, there still is that stigma against the LGBTQ plus community. 70% of the WNBA is black. A third of the players are in the LGBTQ plus community. And we have to do something about that stigma in this country. I think that people have a problem with basketball playing women that are lesbian.
Okay, so here's something that
Clark is
stood out.
bringing this money.
The first thing that stands out to me, and Martine, I want to get your take on this. So, do you think there's a stigma in professional basketball because the players are majority black?
I don't think there's a stigma for that. I mean, it's predominantly a black game, because even if you look at NBA, like, most of the players are African American, so it's not a stigma against it. It'd be like the other way around. If it's like, I mean, if anything, you can say there's a stigma against like white people in there because there's such a fewer minority.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting of her to say. We've got to get rid of this stigma because there's 70% black in the WNBA, and there's a stigma because that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
But
my hero in NBA, Larry Bird, John Stockton, they stood out very staunchly. They weren't my heroes growing up as a kid. I knew that they stood out as good players, but predominantly my heroes were, the Scottie Pippens and Michael Jordans out there, and I could care less what color they were. They were just amazing players. So the fact that they would say, we got to get rid of the stigma because there's a majority black player.
Not just the majority, overwhelming 70%, according to her stats. I don't know where she gets these stats.
And nobody is alleging that it's racist, right? That this is a racist geared type of franchise or organization.
I think the proposal is that because Caitlin Clark is white, she's getting a lot more media attention, and the big sponsorships are bringing money to the WNBA, which is, I don't know why that's a bad thing, and I don't know why the WNBA is not supporting Caitlin. She's bringing in crowds like the WNBA has never seen before. She's bringing in money like the WNBA has never seen before, and she's not getting any love for it. She's being hated on because of it, and we're to believe it's because of her race or because she's white. I take issue with that. Miss out. Deason, Garner, and Hansen is hosting an estate planning seminar June 21st at the Foothills Library at 2:30 p.m. Call 928-783-4575 or visit yuma.law today.